All right.
That's what you always do. All right, welcome back. Starts right up.
You got some new shoes?
Yep. We got some new tires and rims. When we had the rims, bought the tires a couple weeks ago. Finally painted the rims, got them mounted and balanced. Threw them on. They're, what are they?
Buckshot wire motors.
Yeah. P78s by 15s. Well, the problem we've been having is we have it connected to that resistor, and it won't start. It'll start a couple times, then it just doesn't have enough power to go through that. So we have to use this little jumper wire, and that starts right up. But other than that,
Well, basically the battery's not charging, so whenever the battery gets weak, you don't have enough fire to go. But also, did we show everybody what we did on the hood latch or custom job?
Yeah, so we didn't have this before because it had rusted off. So we had the other hood that we cut out like there and there, and then cut this piece out on here and then welded it in.
And now what?
It looks pretty good. Yeah, and it closes.
Well, and we can go down the road at what, 100 miles an hour now?
Oh yeah.
So,
Had a skid plate on there. So we threw the tires on, and it was driving like crap. It would like jerk left, jerk right, whatever. We're like, shoot, I didn't think bias plies were gonna be this bad. And we get under there, and we see the scratch marks on the tire rod.
so
Yep. So what happened? So we had that on there.
we or you?
Hey, it was on
You and the
when I
skid
got
plates.
it. Anywho, so basically that was just catching the tie rod and catch and release. Now it drives great.
Yep. Cool.
Yep.
All right, another update. So, here we got 1980 Scout Rallye. Before, I don't know if you heard, it sounded like it was running very, very bad. Now it starts right up and sounds like a new car.
It sounds like a sewing machine.
So, again, we had sat for 15 years, so we knew there were going to be some issues, but what happened was the previous owner had the carburetor removed and didn't really cover the intake. So, I don't know if the rain or just moisture or whatever, but something got out, water got down into the cylinders. So, all right, so I was thinking actually it bent the push rods. So, went ahead and pulled that valve cover off over there, which is not very easy because the AC compressor. Got it off, and I had the remote start, bumped it over. Well, the one number 8 rocker was not moving. It's like, oh man, it's the valve is stuck. So went ahead and PB blast. Just everything, and it started beating on it till I kept on hitting with the remote start till it finally loosened up. Where okay, now it's it's moving, so everything should be good. Started up, ran a little bit better, but it was just popping through the carburetor. Like, pull this, valve cover off, and you can tell, like I said, there was moisture got in there. Now we had number 7 and number 5 cylinders, one on each rocker was locked up. The valve was stuck. So the one, it took me a while, PB blaster, Marvel mystery oil into, intake, everything, just trying to loosen up, beat it with the hammer. Finally was able to break number 5 free, and then it took me forever to get number 7 to free up. Finally freed up, runs like a sewing machine. So it's just unbelievable. Now you hear a kind of funny noise. Well, air pump, surprisingly, is still hooked up on this for the emissions back in the day. Which I don't know why it's on there, because most people, as soon as they see that, they pull it off and be done with it, plug everything off. But it's still on there, so everything is original on this engine. So next, worked on the brakes. Of course, I have to sacrifice my SS2. That's what all these plug wires are like, and we need a part. Well, SS2 had all these brand new parts. Replace the master cylinder. Front we can get fluid through, but the back it wasn't getting anything. So pulled off the rear brake drums, and actually the brakes look good. So I'm like, but I went to go ahead and try to bleed out the wheel cylinder and the bleed valve broke off. Like, I just go ahead and replace the wheel cylinders then. Ordered them, came in, put them on, and then, when I broke off the line, whatever, when I went to put the wheel cylinders on, the line was snapped loose because it was all rusted. So I had to rebend some brake lines, put them on there. All right, now I got pressure to the rear. I'm like, oh, great. Put everything back together. Then Zachary was pumping up the brakes again, and I was losing fluid in the rear reservoir. So the right rear was leaking. I'm like, so pull it off. Well, the wheel cylinder, brand new one, was leaking again. So pull it apart, messed around with it, put it all back together, and I could not get the brakes to close. And I'm like, something's not right. I tried every which way, could not put it all back together. Came to the realization that that brake cylinder was bad. The brand new one was bad because it would not compress all the way. So went ahead and luckily my wife is in town, like, hey, go by O'Reilly's, pick up another brake cylinder. She did, put it on there, brakes work, runs and drives great. So what else? I think the main thing is when we changed the oil, it was a sludge in there. So put in Marvel Mystery Oil in there with the oil. You know, that's hopefully a break it loose, but we got to drop the pan, clean all that sludge out, put everything back together. Otherwise, I mean, engine-wise, I'm not gonna, it looks like someone replaced the hoses and everything else. Belts seem to be fine. They said AC system, everything's still there. I'm sure it doesn't work. I had to cut the one AC belt just so I can get it off to crank it up. But now what are we doing, Blaze?
Oh, let's see, yeah. So we need a body for this one, a body for Dad's SS2,
Yeah.
body for my truck.
I think we're going to concentrate on this because I like it, you know. The interior, you can't beat it. Especially with the auxiliary gas can in there, that's pretty neat, you know. But the seats aren't torn. The dash is all there. As you heard before, the CV works. So, and this what's cool, I looked underneath there, and this is the first Scout out of 60 or something I had, actually has a Dana 300 transfer case in there, which is the most desirable one in the Scout. So
It's supposed to go, what, 272 axles?
yeah. So I pulled off the differential tag to see what kind of gear ratio. It said 272, like, that can't be right. Pulled the front one off. 272, like, okay, I never seen a Scout with that, you know, high of gear ratio. The highest I've ever seen before is 307. So, I guess this sucker, if it was back on the road, it would probably get up and go. Because it runs good. So the, what's called, carburetors seem to be fine, so. But, you look around, we swapped out some tires that we had, because it had, what, trailer tires on it?
Yeah.
And then still have we have to break this loose because it was just rusted shut, everything. But it has the plastic tank. I ordered a new center unit, so whenever that comes in, we'll go and swap out that. And then what else did we order for this? Center unit and
Control module for that.
Control module for
yeah.
that. So so we had what happened last Saturday, Blaze?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a cruising night in Silent Springs, so we decided to take 3 Scouts. Zachary's, Blaze's, and mine. So we're cruising around, met some friends, hanging out. I had to stop to get gas in mine. Blaze pulled up there, and while we're sitting at the gas station, his died out. So we pushed it off to local
Panda Express.
Yeah, Panda Express to figure out what was going on, and we could not. It'll turn over. It just would not fire. It was getting gas and everything else. So next morning, like, just left it there overnight. Next morning, swapped out the coil. Still not getting fire. So the only thing I can think of is the control module burned up. So we're waiting on that. Hopefully come in. Of course, I'll be gone for a week, but hopefully come in. Blaze can go and swap that out. But it was running fine. I think what happened was it was getting too much power to the control module through the coil because I didn't run a what's called ballistic or ballast resistor like I should have. But for this one, like I said, it has again. Every time I looked underneath there, it's all gone. And the people who had it before us, or the previous owner where they got bought it from, just put stuff all over trying to look halfway decent, and it's bad. So, but the main thing we wanted running and driving, so moving around. Now since just working on getting the tub. All right. Anything else, boys?
I don't think so. Nothing Scout related.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What else were you working on?
Yeah.
Grand Marquis. We
Yep.
put the brakes on that, which I don't know why. It sounds like something's rubbing or sticking, but anyway. Truck tours to get the tires. Just gonna have to decide what he's gonna do with the body.
Which the tires look so much better.
Oh yeah. But now I got a set of tires for mine that is gonna figure what I'm gonna do with them. So. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Thanks for watching.
And that sucker's quiet.
I know. You can't hear off, right?
Of course, I put the steering wheel on crooked. Oops.
Isn't it crooked on your Scout too?
I'm sure. But the steering's tight.
I know.
Look, speedo works. Perfect rhythm. Brake pedal feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's on a CV.
All right. I know. That drives great.
Yeah.